What is up, everybody? My name is Christoph. Alongside me is
Brianna Kaye.
and
What's
this,
up, everybody?
and this is ExtraNormal Podcast, where we tell abnormal stories for these extra normal times. How have you been, Brianna?
I've been really good. Very, very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just focusing on our shit, all the stuff
It's
that's
always a lot
always
of
going
shit.
on. Right now, we're still in the middle of a salon remodel. It's like work in progress, so I feel like it's never ending.
It's always never ending. Can I ask you something? Have you noticed? This has been
Let
hot.
me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. And I've been noticing this lately. Nobody's ever fucking talked about how fucking weird it is to get older. Like nobody ever talks about it. They talk about like, time and passes quicker and stuff like that. But it's super fucking weird as you get older because you become less knowledgeable about the shit younger people are saying. You don't know fucking slang. You
Mm-hmm.
become less knowledgeable about fucking technology. You know, the timestamp of life that you have is weird because people start dying on you. It's fucking weird
Yeah,
getting older.
and I feel like
It's
as
bizarre.
like at our age now, like we're in our early 40s.
I'm in
I
my prime, baby.
I feel like all like not all, but a lot of our friends like are getting sick. Like,
Yeah, like there's
just
like ailments and it's just weird.
yeah, like
It's
just it's all
weird.
and it's just kind of like that's unsettling. And I mean, I feel like we talk about it, but yeah, it's totally like when you get together with your friends, you're talking about your illnesses and what you have going on. And
It's
it's just
just
like
bizarre.
stuff that, I mean, before I had a child, it was the same thing when people talk about kids and bedtime and breastfeeding. And I just was like, ew, like stop talking about this. Like who talks about it? And it was just like nails on chalkboard. Like I never
Yeah.
wanted to think about that. It was so boring. And now it's like the highlight of my life.
On that note, do you think you would like yourself if you met if it the 20-year-old version of you met the current you? Do you think you would be like, "Oh, this fucking
I think I would like myself because I feel like in my 20s, yeah, like I did a lot of fucked up shit and crazy stuff, but like um I'm kind of like when I meet young clients and stuff like
mhm,
that and maybe have some similarities to me toward like I did um like similar lifestyles. I'm always like, oh yeah, like I remember that.
remember
Like
this?"
no regrets, and I think people have always told me that I'm very mature for my age. Like in my early 20s, like, people would always think I was in my late 20s. They always
Uh-huh.
just because my friends always called me the mom of the group, like, my nickname was mom, and so for me, like, I feel like, yeah, I would. Yeah, there'd be things where I'd be like, "Oh, maybe you don't wanna do that anymore," like, show up to work, hungover, show up to work still drunk, because I did that a lot, or
Yeah.
pulling all-nighters because I wanted to party all night with my friends and then just stay awake for 24 hours and then just go straight to work afterwards, like, that's shit that I could never do now, like, at all. And I always wonder, like, I had this little 17-year-old, it's one of my clients' sons,
Mhm.
and I'm just like he's like here like, I was finishing up with another client and the stuff we're talking about, and I was like, "Oh my god, he probably thinks, like, we're, like, the weirdest, like, old ladies talking."
It must be convoluted, but you know what also is weird that we didn't talk about? We didn't end up talking about this, and I am blown away. I
What?
am absolutely fucking blown away that we
What?
still haven't talked about this. Hot bucket, hot
Hot
pocket.
buckets.
I do have a story about hot pockets too. But that we haven't talked about the fucking hundreds of pounds of pasta that were dumped into a New Jersey stream. Did you hear about this? A mystery pasta.
Did anybody try it?
I don't know if anybody ate it, but this is from
Did a homeless person?
had to, right?
Maybe.
But I feel like homeless people are a little too
I would've.
picky, like without sauce. You have to have sauce in that. River pasta without sauce
I
has
mean,
got
if
to
you're
be
really
bad.
desperate.
I guess.
Was it salsa or
Salsa,
salsa?
salsa.
Or was it really I can't even think right now. I've had too much to drink. Um, was it really pasta or was it really brains?
No, it's pasta. It's
Are you
legit
sure?
pasta.
How
We'll
do you know?
post on our
How
social
do you know?
media.
Nobody tasted it. What if it tasted
I'm
like
gonna send you the
brains?
picture. What do you mean it? So someone made a fucking brains, like they shaped brains into looking like pasta. It had to be pasta. I mean, I don't want need to sneak a peek of it for you, but this is what it looks like, and we'll post it online.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. It looks like fucking pasta. And let me read from AP News to get a little more digging on it. Authorities in central New Jersey town, of course, it's in New Jersey. All the fucking pasta.
what's that supposed to
There's
mean?
a lot of Italians in New Jersey.
Don't be racist.
Authorities in a central New Jersey town say they are no longer doodling over. Come on, guys, with the pun over the mystery of how hundreds of pounds of pasta were dumped on near a stream. Oh, so they solved it.
Was it just
Old
bad?
Bridge Mayor. Old Bridge. That is. There's. I guess
Old Man
apparently
Rivers.
there's a town called Old Bridge in New Jersey. Old Bridge Mayor, which is beautiful. Henry said Friday that the pasta, including spaghetti and macaroni, was cleaned up last week by public works crew shortly after officials learned about the oodles of noodles. These fucking people, stop it. That quickly drew national attention, when the photos of pasta were posted on social media. The estimated 500 pounds of pasta. That's a lot of pasta. How much is it like a usual
Such a
bowl
waste.
of pasta? It's got to be.
It's a good amount.
It's not even. But
So keep going. I want to
pasta
hear.
were
Tell me.
apparently
We
raw
want to hear the
when it
story.
was dumped,
Wait.
but
We want to
subsequently
hear the
heavily
story.
rains softened the food and made the mounds look like they had been cooked. Officials have said it is unclear who dumped the pasta there or why, but it's not believed the pasta had been at the site for long before it was discovered. Henry said the pasta did not cause any environmental damage or health issues, and he considered the matter closed. It certainly should have. This is from him. It certainly should have ended in the woods, but putting in or near the stream bed was not the best idea. But I certainly hope our police are not putting more time into this, he said. Assuming the pasta was still usable, I wish it had ended up in our food bank, which could have really used it. So they don't even know what. That's a lot of fucking pasta. And it's weird that it's not like, obviously, like your noodle companies, the pasta companies, they're not gonna just dump it in the middle of the forest. Do you think it was an elaborate prank?
No, I think it probably went bad. You know what it could have been? Like, like everybody like had the hysteria. We did too. Oh, you didn't as much as I did. The hysteria, like when the pandemic first
Mm-hmm.
happened,
Oh, the
and
grocery store
everybody's like
run?
storing up pasta because that was like one of the things that you kept hearing on the news. Store like stock up on pasta, because it fills you up. And
Sure.
so maybe people just had like loads of pasta stored and they were just like, okay, well, it's expired now, and they just put it down the river.
But that would take a lot of someone would have to be a real hoarder to collect 500 pounds of pasta and then dump it into. How do you even transport
I
500
believe
pounds of
it. I mean,
pasta?
there's people hoarding toilet paper, so
Do you
you
think it could
never
have been the
know.
possibility of aliens? I'm just going to ask you that
No.
because this is that show.
I
You don't think
mean,
aliens dump pasta in the forest?
no.
Well, who is
I
it?
would
Do you
love
have a
I would
theory?
I would love to run wild with, all my beliefs in aliens and stuff like that, but
Any
in
excuse, but
this
no, no.
case, yeah, like that would be a wonderful excuse, but in this case, no. I don't
No,
think
you don't
that.
believe it. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's super weird.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I don't know who fucking dumped it. But if there's any clues, is there going to be a Netflix special on this? Do you think there's going to be a Netflix special where it's a 6-part series on who dumped the pasta?
Maybe.
They're running specials on everything. I wouldn't be surprised. You're not a really a documentary person as much as
I
I am.
do. Maybe not
I
as much
soak
as
up a
you.
lot of fucking documentaries, like every single one. And the problem is I soak up a lot of fucking documentaries, but I don't retain any of that shit. Like it's just like in and
It's
out. Like
fascinating, but you're like, "Boop."
it's interesting. Also, too, I think it's a matter of like I kind of poked at, like everything. You get flooded with so much fucking details in
Yeah.
documentaries now. Like what the fucking serial killer had for fucking breakfast on the morning of. It's just hard to retain. Like everything just becomes
Yeah.
mush.
For me, it's just like crappy reality TV,
You love reality TV
But
show.
I'm so into the show. What's the one I'm watching right
You
now?
love The Ultimatum,
The Ultimatum, guys. Who's watching that
which
show?
is like, what is the
It's
fucking premise
so
of that
good.
show?
Okay, okay.
It's like,
So
you're
so
not gonna
it's
marry me, so I'm
basically
gonna
like female
fuck someone else.
couples that um one of them's ready to get married, another one, and not necessarily one of them doesn't want to get married, but one's just like maybe not financially in the place yet or wants to have all their ducks in a
Why are you
row.
fucking like defending the fucking
Um
not married, the ones who aren't?
it's just, once you
Just
watch a
fucking get
show,
off
you
the
have
show.
you have mad respect for a couple of them.
Who don't
But
you're like,
but
I get
I'm
it.
just like so like obsessed with some of the couples on this show because like one of them's in a very toxic relationship with
Mm,
this like dumb girl.
the
And
toxicity
and
of our
and then
city, of our
her
city.
girlfriend that's giving the ultimatum like starts like dating somebody else. So okay, so let me take that, rewind it back. So they have like a few different couples, and then they make the they make the couples like
Uh-huh.
speed date. Like
This is the passion
they
that
make them, okay, you're single now, so you're gonna speed date to see if you match with anybody else's couples that's on the show. And if they match,
uh
then they get to be engaged for 3 weeks and have to live with this new couple. So some of them like really hit it off. Some of them are kind of awkward, but then they end up matching too.
yeah.
And then there's a couple of them that you're just like, you guys are like cute. Like you need to be together. And it's just like it's like people say like, oh, you can't fall in love that quick. But I'm watching this show, I'm like, oh my God, like, no, they're in love. They need to have babies, they need to be together forever. Like I love it. And so like it is like a really good, I feel like it's
It's
especially
very
I think
like,
because it's like lesbian. So like for me, I'm like, no offense to all the men out there. It's more wholesome for me because
what?
I'm like, females are just, yeah, I don't know, guys are douchey. I'm not saying that girls can't be either, but like, I just feel like these females on this show are just really the ones
Because
that are giving
girls
the
is
ultimatum.
players too.
They just really want to find love and they want to be loved and have children. And then they're just,
You don't think a
I
few
don't
of them are on there for
know.
television?
Oh, no, there's one cunt.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Whoa.
like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like every time she comes on, I'm like, this fucking bitch needs to go. Like, like she's not cool.
So two
Who's trying
notes.
to go live with
I don't know who that is.
us? Their name's funny. I'm not even gonna say
What?
it.
Okay. Is it
Yes,
inappropriate?
appropriate.
Inappropriate. Two things I have to
Anyways,
say.
it's a good show, everybody, and you guys should watch it. And I love it.
Two things I will note on this
And
is
it's
that,
Pride Month, so you definitely need to support and watch it.
sure, of course, watch it. One thing I'll note on this, and then maybe possibly another, is
Mhm.
that you just gave a fucking speech as passionate as you are about fucking aliens and conspiracies. Like you were full throated on that
The
end
show.
on the show. Like you were just as passionate. Like
I didn't
talking
even get to
about how,
finish the concept of the show, though.
okay, finish the concept.
Yeah, you just interrupt me. So then, okay, so then
Did I?
they go with the other couple, like so the new couple, right? And then their
Mm-hmm.
exes go with their new couples. And oh my God, the lights keep
We have flickering
flickering
lights. It's
tonight.
like
Is
a
it really
haunted
windy?
house.
Is it like really
I
windy?
don't know. We have a haunted
Um,
house tonight.
anyways, so there's like some weirdo like a few streets over cutting wires. So it could be
There was someone. Can we talk about that? That we saw someone before. We'll get back in, but we saw someone in the middle of the fucking sidewalk on a ladder
giant ladder.
cutting fucking wires.
Yeah, and he was happy about it. Like
He was giddy.
He was just like,
Well, I think he
I'm
was
ready.
giddy because he hadn't got electrocuted to death
Yet.
yet.
Yeah.
Yet. He might
Anyways,
be dead at this
back
point.
to the ultimatum.
Uh-huh.
So once they flip flop and they're in their new couple like relationship,
Yeah.
they're with him for 3 weeks, and like they get to see their other like significant others that they were with before, their exes that they call them. They get to
Mhm.
see them like, and they have like social gatherings and like little bits, but not like too much. And they're really not supposed to like talk to them. And then at the very end, like
Just the
where
tip.
I'm at now they're flipped back into they have to go live with their original couple that they were with. And it's like some of the ones that have kind of fallen for the other ones, it's like you see them going into this relationship back with the love of their life, and they're kind of like, whoa, like I've been treated so wonderful and so different from this new person.
Mhm. Which
Like,
is the
I don't wanna
producer
go
salivating.
backwards, like, I wanna go forward. So, yeah, so there's a it's I don't know, there's this one couple that I'm really rooting for.
Yeah, you get dog deep into it. I can't.
Just when I know it's not fake. Like when I
No,
could
what
be
do you
like,
wait? What?
they seem very
It's
genuine. They're so cute. It's Xander, and then I forget the girl that Xander's with.
it's
But
Xander and Sander, right?
Xander and Yoli. I think it's Xander and Yoli, but they're like my favorite couple.
If you're
They're so
watching The
cute.
Ultimate, check out Xander and Yoli.
The
Do you think
ultimatum, not the ultimate. It is the ultimate ultimatum.
Ultimate Warrior colon Love is Blind hashtag The Bachelor?
Oh my god, you're so dumb.
Just wanna
That's
give
my
you a
rant
heads
about
up.
the show. It's your fault.
Why is it my fault?
I don't know.
It's well. Here's the thing: is I am a dutiful husband, and
Dutiful.
I see there's a lot of regret in my heart too as well because I see stuff on Netflix and I'm like, well, Brianna will like this, and
I don't even
then
really watch TV. Leave me alone. I'm not a
you
TV.
get sucked in, and I'm
You made
having.
me because you made me a TV person. You
You
know
were,
what?
yeah, you were.
You know when you made me a TV person is when
Dexter.
Dexter.
I was
Yeah,
at
we
Dexter.
both said at the same time when Dexter came out. We watched it. I remember on your laptop on the bed because we didn't even have a TV in our room.
But we never finished Dexter. I
'Cause
heard it was
got,
going
like,
sideways. It
I
got.
heard he had a kid, and I'm like, it was. I liked it back in the day, but whatever.
He's like, yeah. With
Kids,
Dexter,
people
it
started
was like,
calling naming their kids Dexter. I was like, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
it was a cool concept, but it kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah,
like for
yeah.
sure towards the end. But I
So
liked it
yeah,
all.
yeah, but so it's your fault. I
It's
was
not
at the
my
club.
fault. It's not
I
my
was at
fault.
the club dancing. That's what I
Okay.
was doing.
Well, why don't you fucking go back to the club and dance instead of
Do
sucking
they
up my
even have
TV with.
Speaking of being old, this is what we're talking about. Do they even have clubs
Are
anymore?
clubs still a thing? Do people still go to those things?
Because
Are they all
back
on
in my
Zoom
day,
now?
and I say that all the time now. I like I'm
You don't
always
say
saying
back in my
I
day.
say back in
You
my
say it
I say it
literally
in a
back in my day?
funny way, but I literally mean that. Like, because back in the day, this is what we did. And and I remember describing it to people, they're just like, whoa.
It's a weird thing too that I realized like about getting old, not to get back into it too much, but the fact that you have so much like depending on how you're like growing up was like you either have like mild like annoyance with your parents, right? Like, oh God,
Mhm.
like they have these traits, or you have a complete resentment towards your parents. But ultimately, like you start morphing into your fucking parents.
Yeah.
That's such a weird fucking feeling. But like, yeah, I'm never gonna be these fucking guys. But then all of a sudden, like you're a little bit like them more and
Are
more.
you like your parents?
Am I? That's a question for you.
No.
Thank
Ew.
God. I feel like
That was mean.
I'm
But same with my mom. I feel like I look just like her, but I mean, like my things with my mom is I will admit to, like, I have a spending money problem. I like to buy stuff, and um that's about it. I mean, maybe a little feisty like her, but she's beyond feisty. She's like next level. I don't think I'm like as
she
disrespectful
likes
as
picking
her.
fights for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
It's just her personality.
It's just her thing. Speaking of mommy daughter, I found this
Oh
article
no.
on Mirror. It says a woman falls pregnant just weeks after receiving uterus transplant using her mom's womb. So she got pregnant basically with her mom's womb. So that baby's inside grandma's womb.
Wait, grandma is giving birth, or
Grandma. So let's read on. This is from Mirror
or do
UK.
they
So
implant
they implanted
something?
the womb, and she's like borrowing it. It's like a part-time womb.
How's mom living? Did they swap?
I don't know.
Was it Freaky Friday and they swapped their fucking parts of their
So this is from Mirror UK. So you're gonna hear mum a lot. Mum. A mum has proven how much she loves her child by giving her daughter her uterus. Michelle Bryant decided to give the greatest gift of all. That's what I always say. It's not Jesus, her love. It's a mother's womb. And Michelle Bryant has decided to give the greatest gift of all to her daughter, Kirsty.
Did it say how old the mom is?
Let
Grandma?
me, I don't know. So she could have a second child and her daughter fall pregnant just weeks after the transplant. Kirsty, 30. So Kirsty's 30, is the recipient of
I hate that fucking name.
Kirsty? I don't
No
like it.
offense to anybody named that.
It reminds me of Kirby.
Kirsty. My
Kirsty.
name is Kirsty.
So Kirsty 30 is the recipient of Australian's first uterus transplant. Congratulations. You know what? It's the first uterus, and it worked.
I mean,
She got pregnant like weeks after. That's a
with
good.
the
That's
old
a
fucking
fucking.
uterus.
That's a banging uterus.
Okay,
She's mama's got a good
I have
uterus.
so many questions. Like, how old is grandma? Did she go through menopause yet? Is it like what is happening? I mean, obviously,
Well,
it's got to be
is the uterus just a? I'm gonna sound like such
like
a
a womb.
dude. It's just. Is it just the cartridge?
I don't. I
Is it
don't know the whole.
the placeholder of the eggs?
I mean, I guess maybe the other stuff
No,
going
you're
on around there. I'm not sure if it's just like an attachment. I don't know.
no,
Must
your
be.
shit.
I
Kirsty
should
30
know.
is the
I'm
recipient of
sorry.
Australia's first uterus
I
transplant.
have a vag.
And the woman from Coffs Harbour, New South Wales, needed the transplant as after the birth of her child's first child, Violet, she underwent a life-saving hysterectomy due to hemorrhage. So she got rid of her uterus from the first kid, but Granny's like, hey, you have my uterus. I'm not using it. Kirsty participated in a research trial, however, at the Royal Hospital Women. So the 16-hour surgery, that's a long fucking surgery. 16 hours of surgery. I thought everything was quick these days. I thought
And there's like
everything was bing bang.
surgeons, yeah, that won't perform it because being under anesthesia that long is dangerous.
I guess like you're going in and reattaching, like there's no lasers because you're basically it's like putting a garage into the house. Like you're installing a new garage. Right? It's like putting in a whole new room.
I'm sure they gotta anchor it a little bit.
They got
It's
anchor.
got some pins in it.
At 16 hours, I guess if you're taking out shit, it takes quicker, like them reinstalling shit. 16-hour surgery went well, clearly, and an embryo was transferred into the womb, and it was the same one that formed Kirsty.
Kirsty.
Kirsty told ABC, I was just super excited when I found out. It almost feels like it's meant to be, but it's still sinking in that I am going to have another baby at the end of the year. It's so wonderful that my body can do this. And then my mum has given me this gift. Mum is very excited. She can't wait to welcome another grandchild to the family. She is over the moon. Do you think so? It doesn't really say the grandma's age, right? But she's up there. If you were to have that kind of shit, right? You were to
That ship has sailed for my mum.
if you were to transfer garages, right? Would you, and if so, what would be the age you would tell your kid, hey, you were fucking cooked in grandma's oven. You were baked in grandma's oven.
I think like around our daughter's age, 9.
You'd be like, hey,
I
thank
feel
you,
like
grandma, because she gave us
I
this
feel like I
carriage.
am way more honest with Clementine about stuff than you are. Like adult like I don't have a problem explaining like what a miscarriage is to her.
Yeah.
Where I think you or just I mean, maybe it's because you're a guy, but like, even like work stuff we were talking about earlier, like I just feel like you don't go into detail as much
No.
as like I do
I do not.
about stuff, and
I'm very
I
much
just
like
I really like I feel like when I was a kid, like my mom and my grandma, they always like, don't worry about anything. Think about Disneyland. Think about Knott's Farm. Think about happy life and fairy tale land, and like never wanted me to know like the practical stuff. Wanted me to kind of like live in this dream world, and that's all good to an extent, where I felt like, I like I want to be. I like the honesty, you know.
It's good. And also too, like I feel like now, like in terms of we're just having a real talk about honesty, like fucking kids, like with the internet, are exposed to so much shit
Mhm.
now. I feel like you got to get ahead of the fucking game because otherwise,
Yeah.
like these kids are gonna be. I feel like
Mhm.
these kids, like we have without divulging too much, we have a 9-year-old going on 10 very, very,
Mhm.
very, very soon. She's gonna be exposed to like fucking dirty videos, like soon. Like with the
Yeah.
internet, I feel like it's
Mhm.
just like it's the fucking wild, wild
God,
west.
like since we're entering Pride month, I know that last week when we were on, I was on a rant about just people being so
Yeah, I
homophobic.
was offended.
And so like I have this client, he's conservative white guy,
Oh
and
god.
I was cutting his hair
I'm sure he says,
couple
"Oh
days ago.
gosh."
Yesterday? Was it
I don't
yesterday?
know.
Maybe it was yesterday. Um, what do you think about there's teaching kids about trans in school? And I said, look, like you're talking to the wrong person. My daughter already knows about trans. She's
Yeah.
9. I have friends that are trans. Like, and regardless if I had friends that were trans, like I wouldn't mind having an open conversation for my daughter not to judge people and to freaking love everybody. And she it's funny because we I don't even know how it got brought up today, but she was saying something and she was just like, "Oh yeah, like boys can wear dresses." And like, "Oh yeah, we don't judge people." And that's like my biggest thing. And I told him, I said, "Look, I don't know exactly what they would be teaching in school." I said, "But, on that day, if I was feeling a little uncomfortable, I would just make sure that the district would tell us what day it was." And I said the same about like learning about sex. And hey, maybe I just won't have my kid go to school that day. I just think for most people, that's how it should be. Stop talking about on the internet. I mean, I'm talking about on the internet right now, but like just
Life on the
making
internet.
it this homophobic thing. Have a conversation with your child. Like I said, like because we have friends that are a lot of friends and family that are in the
Mhm.
LGBTQ community
Sure.
plus, and so it's like these are conversations where our daughter was already asking questions, and so are very honest and had those
Yeah.
conversations very early, so it doesn't leave her as like confused as most people are,
Well, I don't think that well, I don't think that you need to, like I think that one, it's like the idea of like we could have trans people on to represent much more honestly
Absolutely.
than us.
That'd be amazing.
But like I don't get like one thing that truly fucking pisses me off about that whole thing is that all of a sudden, I think I was telling you, is that people it's because people are told they need to fucking care about it now,
Mhm.
right? People are like, now that it's on the fucking news and now that it's like Bud Light issues and shit, like now we need to there's been trans people for years. Like
Oh my god,
it's because now
yeah.
you're coached to fucking care about it. Like
And
who
you know what
gives a
else
shit?
people don't talk about? Like,
I'm just like, who
there's
gives a shit?
people that, like, are genuine, I remember we would sneak into, like, one of my friends' rooms, and there was this book on hermaphrodites, like it is, like, written it is science, there are people that are both genders.
Sure.
And, like, maybe physically, they might identify as one more than the other, but, like, that's science. I learned that on my own reading a book in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like, and so, this is scientifically proven. So, like, why I don't understand why people always trying to explain this to a conservative 80-year-old man that's, like, set in his ways
That's the
yesterday,
key is you had an
but
80-year-old man.
it
It's
was
hard to
just kinda like it's science, like the people are really both genders, like whether you need to see what's in their pants or not, like if somebody's telling you that they're a they, it's for a reason, like you know what I mean, it's like they're identifying as both,
sure.
and maybe sometimes they are more confused, which it's conflicting, but like it's science, like sometimes a chromosome doesn't fully because there's like female chromosome and male, and sometimes it
Mhm.
doesn't completely turn over all the way. It's all science. And so for this uncomfortableness people are about it. Like I never want my daughter to feel like that. And I want her to embrace people, like there was a kid in 4th grade that, she, was like, "Mommy, like this girl was in the bathroom and all the kids were making fun of her and saying there's a boy in the bathroom." And the girl comes out and she's got short hair and she's a grade higher than our child. And she's just like, and I said, "What did you do when all those kids were making fun of her or
Mhm.
them, however they're
Sure.
identifying?" And she goes, "I just asked her if she was okay." And I said, that's how I wanna raise my child, everybody. I want my child to look at this human and make sure they're okay.
Well, it's all
Like,
about
I don't want
intention.
that child to be bullied because, a chromosome didn't turn over, or maybe they're both genders and, you know, they're so young, they don't know what they're feeling, but they're feeling like they're both, and society is not allowing them to be both, and I want more people like my child to just be there for that kid, that because they don't know what they're even going through. It's so sad, and why I just don't understand why people can't, like, understand that.
I
They're
think that
human.
there's always like I think when you're a grown adult, right? You could choose. You have the right, as long as you again, as long as you're not harming anybody else, you
Mhm.
have the right to choose whatever the fuck you want to do, whatever you want
Right.
to be called. Like
Mhm.
it's as if like my official name is Christopher, right? It's all about attention. If my official name is Christopher, like
Mhm.
with this pushback out, like I'm not calling them they, them. I'm not calling them she, he. Like I'm not calling it like that pushback. Like I won't do that.
Yeah.
Imagine if I mine, and this is simplistic, and this is but I think it's a decent analogy. Imagine if like I go by Chris, right?
Mhm.
And you meet me, right? And you're like, "Oh, it's Christopher." I'm like, "Actually, I go by Chris." Like, and you're like, "Okay." And you make a maybe you make a few honest mistakes about calling me
And
Christopher. That
and
happens.
I have
But
with
say you're like,
um
I'm not gonna call you Chris. I'm gonna call you Christopher."
yeah, why would you do that?
I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Mhm.
it's my choice to live how I want to fucking live. I'm not hurting anybody. So if I want to go by Chris, it's like that's how it is to me
Mhm.
with the whole they. I'm not going to say it's like you're choosing to be an asshole,
I think
like because you're like I'm not
another
going to call him that. I'm
right.
not going to call him Chris because his actual name is Christopher. He was born a male. I'm not going to call him fucking he, she, or she,
Right.
her. Like it's like whatever one people want to be fucking called, just do that. Who gives a shit?
I think as a good like another good analogy is like people that get plastic surgery that like aren't trans and that aren't identifying as a they them.
Sure,
Like, oh, well, no one's supposed to judge you for your fake boobs or your fake ass or your fucking fake like six pack that you had put in
it's
or
not
your
fake,
fake
babes.
cheeks, your fake lips, your fake jawline. Um,
I don't have a six pack
like
for the record.
so I just don't like it's the same thing they get mad at trans people for removing their breasts or having their
It's
surgery
alteration.
below the belt. And it's like, oh, but it's okay for a fucking woman to completely go from like an A cup to like a Z cup, but that's okay because they're a girl doing that. But it's just like like if you have body dysmorphia and you want plastic surgery, despite like I have breast implants, I've always had a booty and thighs, and I just wanted to proportion my body out. And I remember people like, kind of judge me for that, but it was like more accepted. But it's just like if a trans person wants to have like a surgery or just even change their name just to be identifying more as whatever gender they feel that they are, like why who cares? Like it just doesn't matter, and I don't
It doesn't matter.
understand,
Who
like
gives a shit?
yeah,
Like whatever people want to do with their
their
body,
bodies,
however they
like,
want to
yeah,
fucking be, whatever they want to be called,
yeah,
you should just call them. But whatever, like it's just a respect thing. It's just who, like if
I
they,
know, and then when you say stuff like this to, like, the super, like, homophobes and, just the unopen-minded people, they're like, "Oh, well, look at that trans girl that went to jail that got a bunch of girls pregnant," and I was like, I never even heard of that story, and that's, like, all they say, and I was just like, maybe that was one situation, and
there's
who
like,
cares? You think they went to jail just to get people pregnant? Like, just so weird. I think they can
and there's like a lot of like
get game in other
controversy like
places.
over athletics and shit like that. Like how do
Yeah.
you like like,
Mhm.
but I don't give a
That's
shit.
always what they go to, like, "Oh, what about sports?"
Then
Like
figure it out. Sports is sorry for all you. I like sports. I watch fucking all kinds of sports.
yeah.
But at its core, it's fucking dumb. Let's not take it that seriously. Who gives a shit? Like, whatever you guys decide, I don't give a shit. But I think at its core, people should be able to decide how they live,
Mhm.
what kind of body modifications they do, and
Yep.
how they want to be called. Just
Yeah.
call people how they want to be called. Like, if someone wants to like identify in any fucking way, and I understand that, and I know them, and I'm gonna call them whatever they want to be called. I don't
Right.
give a
And,
shit.
like,
I
I'll be the
cannot give a
first I'll be the first to say like, "Oh god, like I hate it when girls get too big of lips or get too big of cheeks." Like that's not my jam.
That's
But
their
I'm
jam. Who
not
gives a
gonna
shit?
I'm not gonna fucking like tell them that they're wrong for doing that. Just like I would never tell anybody else like, "Oh, like you shouldn't identify as a different sex because you're not that you weren't born that way." Like it's yeah,
Anyways,
it's a lot.
we got back on it. Hey,
Anyways, stop being homophobic and happy Pride Month.
happy Pride Month. It is Pride Month. And I miss the old days of Pride Month. I do. I miss because I think both of us were kind of entrenched in the
Oh, I
LGBTQ
loved going
plus
to like
community.
all
I
the
miss the old
festivals.
days where it was like wasn't bastardized by fucking corporate America. Like
Mhm.
I miss those days where it's like we're out here, we're fucking we
Mhm.
are underrepresented and we're gonna fucking celebrate that we are here and we should be proud of who we are.
Yeah.
I like it's soured a little bit with like all the corporate America having like their fucking
Yeah. What was that?
claws in
Like
it
that
trying to
meme
make
that I
fucking
showed
money.
you? That was the 1 month a year we're not gonna be homophobic.
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, there's tons of that stuff. Hey, did you know? I want to bring this up to you before I fucking forget. Is that apparently scientists? So apparently, but the word out there was that people were fucking making out. Right, they were getting down, making out 3,500 years ago. Well, because they found some tablets in Iraq and Syria,
Just recently they found them?
they think that people kissing before they fucked 4,500 years ago instead. So 1,000 years earlier,
That's where we
people
learned
were
it?
making out. What do you think that was? And that brought me to the
Ooga
curiosity
booga.
curiosity of like
Ooga booga.
who was the first person who was like, hey, let's smack lips, like instead of like fucking like instead of just like rubbing genitals, rubbing nasties, like let's make it more sensual and kiss lips.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because animals don't do that.
Animals don't kiss. Why did we start
And
doing that?
even like cats, like I Googled, like, cause like we have a new cat and we have like an older cat. And the older cat like likes to lick the younger cat's ass, and we're like, "Stop being a fucking pedophile,"
Better than
and,
kissing.
like, "He's too young for you, like, stop it." Um, and so I, like, Googled it, and it's, like, this weird way of, like, letting them know that they're he's, like, in their tribe or whatever, and I was like, "Oh," like, as a human, I would never lick somebody's ass just to let them know they're in the in
Hey,
my tribe.
you're my people. Let me lick your
You know?
ass.
It just seems so, very personal.
Yeah,
But yeah, like, I don't know, but I don't
I don't
yeah,
know
it's
if I
just
want
like
to.
as humans, we make out, and I'm like, "There's no animals that make out."
Is there no animals that make out? Hold on.
Oh my god.
I
Anybody
have to
alive
tell
know?
you, unfortunately, I listen, this is this might be a subject for another episode, but I just Googled. I want you to know I just Googled when was the first blowjob? Because I'm very curious. Like, when did someone spark that idea? Like, hey, I got this. You got a mouth. Like, when did that spur? When did that fucking first?
I don't know,
What's the
but did you
genesis of
hear,
that?
like I forget who it was, but there was a celebrity that got, like, cervical like, you get the cervical cancer from
Oh,
but
I know what you're talking
in
about.
their throat?
I know what you're talking about. That was with
Who was that?
Catherine Zeta-Jones' husband. What's his name?
What the hell's his
Catherine.
name? Who knows?
Hold on.
Anybody know?
It was Catherine Zeta-Jones' husband who got cancer from in downtown too much. I think.
In the throat.
I hope I'm not speaking out. Michael Douglas.
No.
Yeah, I think it was Michael. Oh my god, he looks so sad.
Did he get it? He got it in his mouth though, right? Yeah.
And he blames it on.
I have, I'm not even gonna say I have I would say I would not say a
Mhm.
person that I know
Okay, please don't
that
devolve.
had
There's
that had
from that or
that had
no?
that.
Did they blame
Yes.
it on that? Did they?
Yes.
Okay.
They're doing good.
Okay,
It
good.
is it has been a long road and people don't talk about it, but it's a thing.
Right.
Like, you know, and so the next time you think about a little oral
Know that
sex, like, know that
it's a
it could be
sin.
deadly, and it's very it's very painful,
Yeah, I would imagine.
you
So it
know?
was Michael Douglas who he apparently he said oral sex caused my cancer.
It's
It's not
true,
funny.
'cause
I'm sorry.
it happened to one of my clients.
Yeah. It's so wait, and they verified that it came from going down?
Not them, but
Wait.
through the grapevine. I've heard it,
So hold
not
on.
directly.
You
I don't do that person's hair
and
anymore.
this gets back to our need for a podcast. I have some I by the way, I have some co-host candidates that I think would be good on the podcast. It starts with an E. I think that they would be good for podcast. Their name starts with E. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
That's all I'll divulge.
It's a she?
It's she.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking a guy.
No. You won't do a podcast with another man. I'm the only man podcasting husband you have.
What are you talking?
I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I know who you're talking about now. I'm
You know
slow.
what I'm talking about? You're
I'm
following along?
slow. Yes.
Got it.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Got it. That's crazy. So, but wait, hold on. So, of course, this is like totally.
Let me just say, like, feeding tubes, bad,
really,
very bad.
well, yeah, I would imagine throat cancer.
I mean,
is
this
pretty
person also
serious.
like was on drugs and stuff like that too. So there was
Doesn't help.
other stuff going
Doesn't
on
help.
there that like.
But you heard from another client who knows this person that the scuttlebutt is that they got it from.
Possibly. I can't. Again,
I don't want you to give names. No, please don't give
Yeah.
names. Please.
So,
I don't
no,
think
no,
we
no.
have NDAs enough to.
No.
So
But yeah, I know. I need to write a book, and the other person that you're talking about, like, we need to write a book.
that can happen.
I
Shut-
know. It's scary.
I'm just blowing. I'm like for the first part. For this
Can I just say
first time on this podcast, I'm speechless.
another old person comment.
Okay. And back in my day, we didn't used to get throat cancer because we didn't do that kind of stuff. Missionary only.
No. I'm glad that I'm in a relationship, a long-term
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
I
Keep going.
To be single
This is hot.
in this day and age
Yeah.
is fucking scary. I know I sound like an old person saying
But
that.
why is it scary?
Because you get throat cancer from sucking dick. That's why.
Michael
I don't-
Douglas is old.
I want to have I would like, if I was single, ready to mingle, I want a good night out and some dick sucking, and I can't even do that.
You know, you just want to want to have a nice dinner. You want to suck a good dick, and you want to call it a night.
I don't want warts in the back of my throat.
Oh my god!
Like, I just don't. Like, they give me cancer later.
I wanted to ask.
And see, that's the worst part of that fucking cancer. It fucks women hard, like, because it fucks up our fucking obviously cervical area.
Yeah.
You know, like all of our female goods, where people can't have kids if they get usually that cancer, they won't be able to have children.
Yeah.
And then you get in your fucking throat. Like,
get it in you.
What?
Michael Douglas, though, he's a trooper. He's a soldier. Like he went down there and he got it. Like who's
he going down on?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
So she had it.
She had it. He blamed.
Unless they're. How embarrassing.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? Like, because she's a celebrity, like
she is
being
a celebrity.
Like, yep, gave him throat cancer. But how long were they together before? Because she had to have known she had it. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
She had to know.
Little abnormal pap smear.
So she
had to know.
You're throwing her under the bus? But maybe he was
Unless
like,
she was
I know,
cheating.
honey.
Unless he was cheating.
Honey, I know you got an abnormal atmosphere, but I still want to go down on you.
I still love
That's a
you.
romantic. He's like, I know your pap smear is a little abnormal, but I still want to go down on you.
I'm sure it's nothing.
Yeah.
No thanks. No. I once again, I'm glad I'm in a relationship. Because I wouldn't want to kiss somebody. I genuinely
I feel like it's like
somebody, even that would freak me out.
I feel like for you, like for women specifically, like
fuck.
I feel like it's
I
just
just
such a
am.
like like dating is so much about like fucking and like like it's swiping is all about like just fucking and like if you're not feeling
For
into it, like
me? What are
there's
you talking
so
about for
much
me?
like for everybody. And it's just like if you're not feeling into it, like it's just it's a shitty thing.
I just and that's the thing too, like, you have that one what if you have, like, that one, like, great one night stand,
Mm-hmm.
and then
But they give
they
you a
leave
fucking
you a
throat
gift.
cancer.
They give you throat cancer for the
It's a
rest of
great
your
date.
life.
I got throat cancer, but it was a
Oh, it
great
was a
date.
good fuck.
Oh my god, David Buster's it was fun.
Never David Buster. It was never worth the fuck.
What is the protocol on dating now? Like, what is like the go-to
I don't
first date?
know.
Like, what's the go-to first fucking date? Are you going
All
to
I
like
know is that
fucking chain restaurant? Or are
I
you
know
going
about
like,
these girls, all like a lot of my clients that are single, they just
uh-huh,
say they get dick pics. They'll go on like one date with a guy, or they'll just start talking. They'll meet him online,
yeah.
and then they're like talking through text. And the next thing you know, not asking for it, they get dick
Nobody's
pics.
asking for a dick pic ever.
Yeah. And they get dick pics. And it's just like, I will never like if ever somebody like to me that is like defilement. Like I think that's just so disrespectful.
If you don't
And I don't
ask
know
for it, of
in
course. If you're
what
like, hey, show me
world
your like,
that somebody would think that would be okay sending without any acknowledgement of like somebody like and I don't you need not even like flirting. Like if I'm like flirting through a text message, I'm not expecting to see a dick. Like, you know what I
no.
mean? Like flirt back with me.
So there's no
Don't send
like,
me your dick.
hey, show me your shit. Like, there's no because that's like I don't understand. I've never like again. I've been a single guy at one time in my life. I've never understand the appeal. Like I this is unsolicited. I'm gonna show her my dick, and this is gonna really win her over.
From what I've heard and learned from men, apparently it's like it turns them on.
Sure.
It's like, yeah, I just sent her my dick. She gets to see
You
my dick.
should see
Everybody wants
this.
to see my dick.
Okay.
It's my dick.
Hey,
You're a dick. You're a dick.
hey everybody. Hey everybody, check this out.
And it's like for them, it's a turn on, like, oh, I just sent her
God,
this.
it's a
And
one-sided thing.
yeah. And so, like, on their side, it's just like, this rush of like my penis. And then it's like on the flip side, it's a female being like, why?
Have you ever
We
been
don't think
like,
like that.
yeah, you don't think like that. Have you ever
No.
been been like, yeah, like add a dick pic? Like, have you ever been like,
No, I know
this is
I've
it?
sent like my like tits to you. Like,
Yeah, but, like, have you ever been like, either me or anybody else, have you ever been like, "Yeah, that got my juices flowing on dick pic."
I mean, that was never even a thing back then, and it never would be a thing for me.
Got it. No,
Ever.
no, it makes sense. It
Ever.
totally makes sense because
And the same with, like,
male
a
genitalia
girl,
is
like, if I was, like, dating a girl, don't fucking send me a picture of your fucking vag, like, I don't see your fucking loose meat hanging out,
pastrami.
like
You don't wanna see that pastrami?
yeah,
I don't think
no.
vagina pictures are not really a thing.
I'm just saying I want every gender because I don't want men to think I'm just attacking them, so if like,
No,
it
it's
would be the
fine.
same, like but I might wanna see a boob.
You might want so wait, hold on. So hold on.
I wouldn't be that's I know this is so, um, sexist. I wouldn't mind a girl sending me her tits, but I would really if I would
But as
but
like
if
a
a boy sent me his dick, I would be bothered.
as
I
like
would
an
be really
hold on, we're
upset.
talking about erotic stuff here. So, like, you would be like, "Oh, yeah, like, those are nice." So say you were single and whatever,
Mhm,
this
mhm,
you were
mhm.
sending some scandalous pictures. You would
Yes.
be like, "Oh, those are nice, cha-chas." Like, I
Yeah.
wanna, like this is getting
Tatties.
me
Let
in the
me
mood.
suck on them tatties.
Is there any, like, body part that I guess my question is, like, is there any body part that would get you in the mood? Like, is it, like, for male or because 'cause you've been declared as bi, any male or female body part, you'd be like, "Yeah, this is, like, enhancing my"
I can like
would it really be Junga's?
I mean, if you sent me a picture of you like holding your dick,
Uh-huh.
but I wasn't seeing like the like a close up of just dick,
You don't want
I
pure
would
dick.
be okay.
You
Like
want, like, something more subtle. You want something
it's
more
like
artistic.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, yeah, jacking off thinking of you right now.
Okay. It's based on like experience more than
maybe a girl fingering herself. I would, but I just don't want to
so
see
it's more
too
about
much of it
yeah.
unless it's boobs. Like then I feel like that would be okay.
So you'd be like,
No, boobs are pretty.
boobs are gorgeous. Everybody loves boobs. Male boobs, female
No,
boobs,
no male boobs.
no
Sorry,
male boobs.
no.
Hold on.
I hate like when guys have man boobs.
What about
I
pectorals?
don't.
What about like nice, like rock hard pectorals?
I'm not gonna like suck on it. Like
I'm not saying suck on it, but like say a guy
that's
was like,
nice,
I
yeah.
work
Like a
out, like
wrestler. Like
yeah, that would be
they're
like.
all greased up.
So say you were dating a guy who was a wrestler, and he was like, check out my titties,
Wait, could he be like?
my muscle titties.
Wait, which one?
I don't
Not
know,
Hulk Hogan.
not Hulk Hogan, whoever. I'm just saying, as like
What
a
was his name?
general body
Piper.
part, like you would be like,
Randy Roger Piper.
I'm just trying to get down to like
He'd be playing the
if there was
bagpipes.
anything in good form, right? If there was like if a
Oh,
man,
Razor Ramon.
if Razor a man,
Razor Ramon's got some nice tits.
so that would get like,
Chico.
well, I mean, also too, it'd be like a matter. So let's say like you're like,
You know what's the best part about Razor Ramon? I know
what's the
him.
best part about
Is
Razor
that
Ramon?
like
I've
he
been
wasn't
dying to
even
know.
Latino? He's just like a white guy. Like
Oh, his name is Scott Hall.
yeah,
His name is fucking Scott
that's
Hall.
the greatest part of Razor Ramon.
He's not. Yeah, he's not. He's not of Italian descent.
Italian?
Or was he supposed to be Spanish? Right.
I thought he was supposed to be Latino.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I know very similar in culture, but yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, I
right.
think he was supposed to be Latino.
Which it like.
I mean, he does like now that you say it though, he could be kind of Guido too. He's got that, the gold chain, and I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what it is. He was just general.
But
Like,
anyways, yeah, he was great. But
was
he's got nice
general
boobs.
consensus.
That's
So if Razor Ramon was to text you and he was like, "Hey,
like,
here's my man pecs.
are you out there, Razor Ramon?
Have you seen Razor Ramon lately? You might take it back.
I'm talking about 90s. We're flashing back. Like, I mean, if he sent me like a selfie, I just don't like
It's completely fucking.
I was telling actually one of my clients this,
kind
and
of
she actually
unsexy to be
listens
like, "Hey,
to the
check me out."
podcast, so she's gonna totally know that I'm like talking about her, but I won't say her name. But we were talking about this, like because she's like dating,
Yeah.
and
She's out on
I
the scene.
just told her like my personal opinion.
Is she the one who got all the dick pics?
No.
Okay.
And like that's just like over the years of clients. Like
Sure,
I would say like
everybody.
in the last like 7 years that's when it kind of started to become a thing.
Sure.
But like so she was just telling me that like someone keeps trying to go live with us.
I don't know
but
what it is. You can if you want.
no, it's probably gonna be someone flashing their dick or something like that. Those are the people that are
It's
trying
not
to
gonna be
come on here
Razor
right now.
Ramon. Razor Ramon, if you're out there listening,
Prove it.
come on the
Scott.
podcast. Please don't show us any of your body parts. But come on the podcast either way.
Anyways, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh, my client.
Dick pics.
Dick pics. So she was like, just telling me like, like, oh, showing me some pictures of like some guys that were, wanting to date her. And there was this one guy and he sent a selfie and I just was like, I don't like the way he looks in that selfie. I was like, bad vibes. And he just was one of those
guys. It was
guys.
a proper selfie? Like it was like,
it was like a friend was trying to hook them up, but it was like, he knows he's the shit. Like he knows that he's good looking.
Yeah, it's not good.
And I think that like I love taking selfies and whatever, but I can't imagine being on the market and just like sending guys like pictures of myself. Like I don't even know, like how would you pose? Like it would be weird. And so like just seeing that picture, and these are like this man was like someone a little bit older than us too. And I just thought like, ew, like you're so into yourself. Like it bothered me.
I could never imagine at this point in my age, I'm not that old, but like I can never imagine being into myself. I think I'm beyond the point. I can't ever picture being like, look at me. I'm fucking hot. Like I'm past that. Right.
It would be like I was telling my
20s?
client that for me, if somebody asked for a picture of me, like because I would want to like dilute like just me, I would send him a picture of like me with two of my friends,
Okay.
you know? So it's like, oh, like we're out doing whatever. I'm the one in the middle. You know what I mean? I would
Yeah.
never want to just, here's my picture.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. And that's just like me being a little, I guess, more down to earth, like in that sense.
You have to be, right? Like,
I
I
just,
don't
yeah, the
understand
way
that
that that
fucking
guy's I was
game.
like, don't date that guy. I was like, no, like bad vibes. Like, he's just like, he had this little smirk. And I was like, no, no, that fucking, was it called when you, like tangled? The smolder?
Oh,
He
yeah.
had like the smolder. I was like, ugh,
What do
gross.
you think, like I wanna ask you this. What do you think you would lead with as your most positive, like, "We're happily married, everybody, don't fucking try shit." But if you were out in the market, what would you lead with your most positive personality trait, attribute, whatever? What would be your selling point, like, as, like, a
Like if I was dating?
yeah, like, if you were like, what would like, as a like, if you were even if you were pitched to me, right? Like, please don't create a dating profile. We're married. If you do, then you're in trouble. But like, what would be your leading fucking like, this is what's my selling fucking point as a partner? Even to
Selling
me,
point.
like, what would you express to me as like you're like
Mm,
bubbly or like
loyal.
fucking loyal? Okay.
Mhm.
I like that.
Loyal, likes
I
long-term
really like that, especially since
relationships.
you're in a, in
Yeah,
your partnership.
likes long-term
Especially since you're in an
relationships,
active.
not here for a one-night stand.
Okay.
Um, just I would really be very direct. Please keep swiping if you want a one-night stand. Like, yeah. I just can't
Got it.
even imagine doing that.
I
Like, I
like the
just
loyal part. That makes me
yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, that's the first thing I think of. Like, that's honestly, like, the first thing. Yeah, I feel like that's a good sales pitch, right?
As a
Good.
sales pitch to me, just getting it all
Oh,
experimental.
no. Oh,
What would you
no.
say? Like, what would you pitch as my like leading quality? This is a person you're married to
True
for
blue.
okay,
Oh,
loyal
yeah,
to
I've
you
always said,
too.
yeah,
All
true
right.
blue.
High five across the
You
cameras.
you, like, ride or die. I tell everybody, I was like, I knew, like, you can cut this out if you want to, but, like,
Oh,
when we had broken up and, like,
not cutting out.
you
Not
knew
cutting out.
you knew that I had, like, fuck boys.
Okay, cutting out.
But we were broken up at that time, but, like, despite what we were going through, like, in trying to work on ourselves and in that part of being broken up, like, you never gave up on me, and when my grandpa died, like, it was the first time anybody died close to me, and, it was very devastating. I was in a very dark place, and the other guys that I was dating, um, just could give 2 fucks. Like, just, they just, "Hey, when are you coming over?" And I just was kinda like, and I had you not pressuring me, just genuinely, "What can I do to help you?" And going to my grandma's, staying overnight, even though you had to get up to go to work and, doing all the stuff that you were doing, you were the only one that was the ride or die. That was, like, despite everything going on, like, you were there, and that's when it dawned on me. It was probably, like, 6 months when we were, like, broken up, where I was like, "What am I doing?" You know? And it was like that's when I knew that you for sure were the one. I've broken, like, I have so much baggage because my mom was married so many times that, like, you know, like, I didn't truly believe that there could be your one person, because I saw my mom have her person so many times, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that was when I was just like, it was just, I don't need to get married, but I know he needs to be in my life, and he is the one.
Good point.
But we did get married.
Hey, did you know a man was shot?
Wow, this is a great segue.
A man was
And
shot after.
I'm telling you a sentimental,
Oh.
sweet, you know, and then you start with this shit.
Man shot roommate after accusing him of eating the last Hot Pocket, police say.
Oh my god.
Man in Kentucky's largest city is facing criminal charges after allegedly shooting his roommate during a dispute over a Hot Pocket, authorities
Hot
say.
pockets.
Clifton Williams, 64. So, right, this is 60-year-olds squabbling over a fucking Hot Pocket. Their life's not going great. Was arrested on assault charges Sunday after he accused his roommate of eating his last Hot
You
Pocket
know what?
and attacked
Can
him.
I just represent for this man for a second? I've lived with roommates. You
Uh-huh.
lived in the house with me with
I
roommates.
did.
Can I just say that like the last one, that's fucked up. But like if I went freshly grocery shopping and I have my section in the fridge,
Mhm.
I'm living with 3 or 4 different people
I don't know
back
if
in the day.
freshly and Hot Pocket are in the same
But
belong in the
I'm
same
but
sentence.
like and somebody opens my bag, let's say of like string cheese, and
Uh-huh.
they fucking eat the first one, I'm mad about that.
Oh, sure.
I'm
That's the
pissed
roommate. That's
about
the
the
roommate fucking
first
life.
one, so I can't even imagine the last one.
The last one.
The
That's
last
it.
one's the last straw.
You
I'm
got no
going
more
to
Hot Pocket.
jail.
No more
Like,
fucking Pep Hot Pocket.
yeah, I'm gonna fucking assault you.
Shh. Okay, so this gets better because he attacked him because he thought he ate the last Hot Pocket. He shot him in the ass.
Oh,
Louisville Metro Police Department officials say.
damn.
According to police, Williams started throwing tires at the man after he realized the last microwavable turnover was gone. He then shot him in the buttocks, is how they say buttocks.
Buttocks.
Buttocks. He shot him in the ass as he tried to escape. The TV station reported Williams is prohibited from contacting the victim, who was taken up to UFF, I don't know, hospital to be treated for the non-life threatening injuries. His bond was set at $7,500. So this man shot a man because
For his Hot Pockets.
as he was running away, he shot him in the ass. He's like, you stole my pepperoni Hot Pocket. I'm gonna shoot you right in the fucking ass.
That's crazy. Like, I've been angry.
Yeah.
I'd be yelling at some people,
Yeah. Would you
but I couldn't. Like, I
also too,
just
there's the factor that
I
Hot Pockets are
just
like $3. It's $3 or $4. Like
true. But you
I
know what? I'm sure that motherfucker, like, he had enough. I'm sure I'm not saying the fucker had it coming, but it sounded like
he also shows like
this asshole
donuts.
probably did it all the time.
You think so? You think it's a
You remember
perpetual
my
thing?
fucking roommate,
I do.
Christina, she fucking did that shit to me all the time.
Would you shoot her in the ass?
And then she would like speak to her girlfriend in another language, and because her girlfriend would call her out on
Mhm.
it because she knew she knows who she's with. And I was like, I fucking understand what you're saying. I know she fucking ate it, like So I was like, you know what, you get done. That's when you're finished. That's
That's
when
when you
you're just
deserve a
like,
shot in the
you know
ass.
what, I'm gonna shoot you in the ass. Like,
It's
no,
enough.
I mean I know that's extreme.
That's a very
But
extreme for a
but
fucking Hot Pocket.
it gets frustrating.
It
It
gets
does. When
super
people eat
frustrating.
your food, like I can't even imagine.
That's not even the
Haven't you
amount.
wasn't there like a spoof on something about like people eating like other people's food like in a break room or something? Did
I'm
that
sure
happen
there
at your
was.
work at when you worked for the last company, the long-term company that you worked for? Where I did like
There's
the
always
hair
like
for the
there's
your boss and stuff
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
There's always
Wasn't there like somebody eating someone's food in the fridge? Like there was something weird going on. I just thought like, who does that?
who like that's a bold ass fucking move. Like just taking someone's food, like especially in a work environment where you're like, it's one thing as a roommate, like not to excuse roommates, but you're like, I'm living with this person. It's personal grounds. Like,
Mhm.
what are they gonna do when you're at work? Like, and you realize that like it's literally the fucking company that's fucking paying you, and you're still stealing food.
Yeah,
That's different. Yeah, but I think
it's
we had someone
insane.
steal food, and it was just like, you know, they
Or
never
you
got
can
to the point.
tell like somebody's been nibbling on your food like that. Ugh.
Could you get to the point? Can I ask you this? Could you get to the point where you would ultimately, where you would like do something awry to someone's food if they kept stealing it at work? You haven't really dealt with like an office culture, like you haven't. But would you like put a little like diarrhea medicine, like, you know, like constipation medicine,
Oh,
everything, and someone's
yeah. I
would you get to
would.
that point?
If somebody I mean, especially if I found out who it was and it was somebody I really didn't like.
Would you how many steals would it take? Would it be like, "This person already fucking stole my food, I know,"
I
or
would
would it take it
probably not do that. I would just make it really spicy because I would eat it if it was really spicy anyway.
so you just make it, like, basically where
Yeah,
only you would
take
enjoy
a
it?
bite of that cayenne pepper, bitch.
Bitch.
Cayenne pepper's not even that spicy.
It's not that spicy. What would you ghost peppers? Is that what everybody's, like, craving over now?
Whatever's in that delicious, from, Tacos Mexico no, 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 what's one that I like? King Taco.
King taco.
Like, that fucking it's not the green one I love the green salsa, but it's a red one that, like, burns your soul, right?
It's the red one that's the fucking
Yeah,
spicy, that's spicy
I
as
would just pour that
shit.
in there.
I love it.
'Cause, like, for me, like, a lot of people can't handle, like, my spiciness, so I know if it's hot for me, then it's gonna fuck someone's asshole up, and I'm here for it.
Well, this has been the next episode of Extra Normal Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, on all your favorite podcasts. I've been drinking.
Say that
Favorite
again.
podcast apps everywhere. You can find us on all the social media apps. We're on Twitter, Instagram, we're on TikTok, all those ones that you can find us at to find us the latest updates. You can email us at extranormalpodcast@gmail.com to answer any of our queries or ask queries of your own. But thank you,
Is that even are you saying words? Inquiries?
inquiries.
He says as queries?
I said inquiries.
Oh, no, you didn't. You're gonna hear it. When you're editing,
Uh
you're
huh.
going to hear what you said, and that's not what you said.